Hey guys, DJ Wonder Chrissy, we're back at it again. We got the Las Vegas Cup today, and we're wearing our Born of Osiris paraphernalia. They shot some merch over this way. I have a connection to Boo. They call him Boo, also called Born of Osiris. They just completed another successful year of touring, and they did a Day of the Dead tour to Mexico recently too. Three different cities. I don't know how many dates they played, but three different places in Mexico City. They're going to be playing locally in West Chicago come the middle of December. Check out Ticketmaster for tickets if you're a Boo fan. So there you go. So let's get into the news for today. As always, the news is just hopping. It's hopping today. Our governor, I don't know if you guys know or not, our governor J.B. Pritzker and Let's Go Brandon Johnson, they don't see eye to eye very well, but they realize they have to live among themselves. But anyway, JB kind of sent a shot across the bow of Brandon. He said that the state was going to be providing like $160 million, I guess next year or who knows when, to help with the migrants in Chicago. But he had to throw in some digs that the state is going to be opening a input center where a receiving center for migrants, similar to what New York is doing, I suspect, which he says is being, I don't even know if they have one right now in Chicago, but he basically said that whatever process Brandon's people are doing, it's totally disjointed and non-existent, and he just dissed it to the ground. So I guess the state is going to start taking over the receivership or receiving of the migrants as they come into Chicago and Illinois, and try to manage the process better, which Chicago really wasn't doing. So that's that. I don't know. Chicago still has a mess. I don't know what the solution is. It's not just letting more and more of these people come to Chicago because there's no resources. It's hard enough for working people that speak English and have skills to keep their jobs now. Our economy is, people. The mainstream media is preaching to the sheeple that all is well, and if you believe that, I'm very sorry for you, because if you would just look around, let's talk about inflation numbers. They came out with new inflation numbers this week, and they said inflation was slowing. Didn't say that inflation was going down. They said inflation was slowing. And there was a huge party. The stock market went way up, and it was, woo, everything is fixed. No, I'm here to tell you no. They just said it's slowing, folks. Inflation is still here. It is still robbing everyone blind. And, it's still a problem, but they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know. They want you to believe that we live in some utopia government where everyone is fine and everyone gets everything for free, and there's no negative impact to anyone's life. So there you go. They continue. I think I just saw the Metro, right? If you want to go into the city of Chicago, you take the Metro train. They're raising the rates on that. Granted, I think 50, 60% of that's subsidized by the federal government, but the riders still have to pay the other, I think, 50, 55%. Um, Nothing's going down around here. I mean, gas is going down a little bit. I think we're down to like 3, 4. I saw 344 around here. We were up to 450 at one point, probably 8 weeks ago, 2 months ago. Um, that's somewhat down. Now I can go up to Wisconsin, which I'll do in a couple of weeks, and if the gas prices stay this low, I'll be paying $3 or the 2.90s with a little bit of luck. So there's one way to save a little bit of bucks, like 40 cents a gallon times 15 gallons. That's what you save. Um, Wisconsin's gas is considerably cheaper all the time. They have less taxes, folks. Less gas tax than Illinois. Illinois has the second largest gas tax in the United States behind what state? Californication. I think our gas tax is like 45 cents now, 45, 46 cents. So that's the joy that we get. Um, so no, the economy is breaking the butts of everyone. Walmart even came out, and Target. They're even saying they're seeing sluggishness or slowness in sales across the board. They're even seeing it, like Target said they're seeing slowness in their food sales even. Um, and Walmart's the same thing. I mean, Walmart says their sales are holding in there, but see what you're seeing is the people that can't afford Target anymore are going to Walmart. Walmart's pretty much, for most people, it's the end of the barrel there. They have to, there's not, there's nothing that's cheaper than Walmart usually, unless like around here we got an Aldi's. Aldi's a little bit cheaper than Walmart, but they don't stock all the items that Walmart stocks. So what you're seeing now, even though Walmart's having some issues, I'm sure that Walmart's getting more and more consumers coming in because they're trying to save money. They're trying to stretch those dollars, as much as they can, as much as they can. But the news from Home Depot and Walmart was not good recently. So consider your sources. Consider your sources, and the real information sometimes gets suppressed, folks. Our media doesn't like to report everything. They're very selective about what they report. So consider your sources, really. Um, as I said before, if you go out to the national debt clock, it's got a lot of good information, facts and figures. That's what we need to be operating on. There's a large portion of our population that operates on emotions, folks. They're very emotional. They operate off of emotions. They don't like facts and figures. Now, there's a whole nother set of the world that operates very well off of reality and common sense and facts and figures. And those people can really trigger the other half of the people. So I'm one of those types of people that likes to operate in the realm of facts and figures. So go look at the national debt clock. Here's something you got to consider. So the median house income in the United States right now is like about $420,000. It's down. It's down like $15,000 over its high, probably like 6, 7 months ago. But it's down to like 420. But if you look at the median income of a person, it's like $40,000. Okay? So you've got a $220,000 house and a $40,000 median income. That's like what? Five, almost six times the amount of the median income. Now, if you go back to the 1970s and 1980s, it was the median house price and the salary was probably at a threshold of like 2.5 times. Now we're at like 6 times. That's inflation, folks. That is inflation. We've been since 1970. We've been living in an inflationary era. It's been low. It's been like 2%. The Fed did a good job of keeping it in check. Normal inflation for like the last 15 years is 2%, and people can live with that. It's when like now when it got up to 6, 7, 8, 9%, and wages are only going up like 3 or 4%. There's where you have your problem. So think about that. Back in the 70s, you only had to have 2.5 times your salary to buy the average house. Now we're paying 6.5. It's not sustainable, folks. It's not sustainable. No matter how much you're making, you're not going to be able to afford to live in that type of scenario without two incomes. Single wage earner is becoming a thing of the past right now. And, our Fed, is as handcuffed as the Fed is, because, what's causing this inflation is runaway spending. Our government is spending so much money, and they've pumped so much money into the economy that it is just causing inflation to run rampant. The only way for the Fed to control it is to raise interest rates above the percentage of inflation, which they couldn't do. At one point, they got caught sleeping. They said it was transitory. They thought it was just temporary and everything was going to come back and be good. Well, 6 months later, we found out, no, it's not transitory. It's raging, and it's like 9%, 10%. Then they started hiking rates a little bit, quarter point, half point, quarter point, half point. At that point, they were behind the ball massively, and they pretty much still are. So I expect them to raise rates at least one more time this year, unless we get some really, really good figures. The next meeting is December 12th and 13th, so it's coming up here in 3-4 weeks. So we'll see. But still, a quarter point's not going to make much of a difference at this point. Mark my words, you're going to see mortgage rates, which, for the 720 and above right now are 7.8 to 8%. You're going to see by June, we're going to have 10% mortgage rates for the 720 crowd. So mark my words, inflation's not done. It's not done with us, and the Fed's got more work to do. And they even told us like 3 months ago, they said, there's going to be pain, and their rates, the Fed rates, are going to be higher longer. So basically what they said is once they get the control of inflation, they're going to leave those rates at that level for a much longer time. They're not going to. A lot of people on the stock market think that once they're done raising, they're going to start lowering. No, I do not think so, and I hope that they don't, because if they do, we're going to go back to what caused the problem, right? The 0% money was part of the problem. They should have been raising rates years into that 0% interest that they were charging everybody, and the free money was flowing. The banks were buying treasury bills and mortgages for 30 years at 2% or what have you. Um, that was part of the problem. So we need interest rates to continue to go up to the point where they start reining in some of this inflation and getting it under control, folks. So that's what we need. That's simple economics, but a lot of people don't understand economics. The last couple of years, I've been shoring up on my economics. I'm not sure I took a real good economics class in college, but that's been like 35 years. So now I am much more versed in economics, and it's nothing more than common sense, right? I've got some friends that I got a friend that moved to Kansas City. Housing prices there are going like this, right? I pulled a government graph for him, and home prices in this county that he lives in, they're like this. They are not even looking down at this point, even today. I just heard from one of my family members that's in Dallas, Texas. He says housing prices are elevated there too. I did a quick Google of the Dallas home prices. In both of these places, it basically said housing values in Dallas and Kansas City are elevated for one reason: supply and demand. Okay? So Kansas City, where my friends just moved, is got 20,000 people working for our good old Uncle Sam. It's a big area. Kansas City is a big area for government jobs. So our government has been hiring people left and right and sending them to Kansas City. And as a result, there's no housing. There's no upscale housing, and builders can't build it fast enough. Same thing for Texas, although it's a different problem. All the people from the blue cities and blue states are moving to Texas, right? Elon Musk moved to Texas. Hordes of people from California moved to Texas. People from New York are leaving and going to Texas. I'm sure there's people from Illinois leaving and going to Texas. So once again, it's a supply and demand issue. And if you look around, talk to anybody you know in Texas, they're building stuff like hotcakes down there because there's demand. There is demand down there. There's a need for it because everyone is flooding that state by migration, right? So different story here in Illinois. Housing prices have started to peak and they're coming down. If you watched my video yesterday, I kind of explained, went through 5 houses in my neighborhood, and they're contributing to that downfall. So they're, the people, when they put their house on the market and they make a decision for the selling price and where they sell at, they're contributing to the downfall of the housing market if they're selling under the asking price. So, and that's what's happening right now. People are just selling so they can move on with their lives. They're willing to take a $20,000 discount off their house so they can move on and not have to deal with the crashing market that's happening around them. So there you go. So I think I'm done for today. Enjoyed you guys logging into this live stream. Hope you're enjoying them, and they're fun for me. Fun for me. Allows me to get my information out there quicker, easier, and interact with you guys. So we got one comment here from Incognito Nasty Boy. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying to get rid of those migrants, but as I said in other videos, you get what you vote for. You get what you vote for, and the people of Chicago are getting a big lesson. And I give them credit for fighting back, but I think it's a losing battle for them because Brandon, my buddy Brandon, is just going to run roughshod over his people. He's been elected, and he's just gonna do what he needs to do. He's gonna spend all their money, and before they know it, they're gonna be in debt. Their taxes are gonna go up, and that's the way things go in Chicago. And we'll talk about that some other time. I can go through examples of financial ruin in Chicago, and how they set the stage for bankruptcy. At some point, I think Chicago's going to go bankrupt. So we'll talk about that another day. But it's true. Chicago is financially heading to ruinous type of things, and won't be long before they may have to declare bankruptcy of some sort. Okay, so over and out. DJ Wonder, Chrissy, thanks for joining. Talk to you guys later. Check out stuff on our channel. We got Suzy Q slot content. We got foodie content. We've got walk and talks. We got a little bit of everything, something for everyone. And kudos to Born of Osiris today for sponsoring us, and I hope they're doing well. Over and out, DJ Wonder, Chrissy.